Hey Sarah, Michelle here. I wanted to give you some feedback on your editing of the immigration stories. Um, Overall, I really like that you set this off this way. That's really the way the lead should be set off, so good job with that. Um, uh, Adding commas is good where you've got them. Changing that to was. 1800s, 1900s. Thank you for catching that. Yeah, I would. I think maybe I would add who would become my grandfather's mother there. Um, but good job on this. Let's just take a look at the changes I made just to see. Just setting off a space there on the ellipses. If it's her older sister, she's only got one, and so you would need commas on either side, and then a comma after Hawaii, and then a comma, I think, before the quote. Passed away is a euphemism, and we in AP style we use died. Um, okay, let me tell you a little bit about why I changed this. So we're following along, and then we kind of get this backtrack. But we don't know how it's related. So we just get this, the king of Poland was assassinated in 1881. That is just a narrative stop, a break in the narrative, a narrative screeching of brakes. So I changed it to the events in Poland at the time most likely influenced why Abraham emigrated to the United States. Although there should not be a comma there. My bad on that. But or led to Abraham's immigration, whichever. Um, but we don't really want to. That ties it in better. Then we can go in and say what the events were, and then how he immigrated. Enough funds. Money's to me better. They had another daughter who would be my grandmother's mother. Okay, I did add that. Okay. Instead of her homemade fish she would make, he also raved about the homemade fish she would make. Just little things, but good job overall on that. So I'm going to take a quick break and go to the next story and then come right back to you. Okay, let's look at Anna's story. Thank you for adding the byline. Um, Good change in that next paragraph. Really, you don't need the comma there. I just noticed this. Since he is the subject, he was born in 1989 and later moved, and he later moved. So that's implied. So you wouldn't need the comma there. I'm not sure if I caught that. I always do this. Good job with commas there. Catching that was good. 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 All right. Let's take a look at my changes. So a family of farmers doesn't have a verb. So I changed that. Plus, it was really short. Um, Instead of saying great great grandfather, because he wasn't at the time, I just said, with that in mind, my ancestors, and then later down here said who would be my great great grandparents. Um, this isn't the greatest caption. It'd be nice to say where it is. Um, he would be my great grandfather, but yeah, I will go in and take that out. All right, I just changed it here to say they lived and worked near El Raya on a large farm that is still owned and actively farmed. So that could just be one sentence. Um, yeah, and then here I just said having a strong work ethic runs in the family because our ancestors had to make do with what they had from the very beginning back in Poland. For example, instead of for instance, when Rene Dubos's family lost money on the farm, John, who would be my father, I think I'll change that, who would later be my father, or who would become my father, and his siblings um, had to deal with a rough time as they grew up. All five sons worked on the farm and helped their father. I gotta change that. While the three girls helped their mother. Um, Rather than saying they helped my grandpa, because she wasn't your grandpa at that point, you weren't born. Oh, okay. I guess I didn't catch that. Okay. So those are just a couple of things to kind of look for. Not anything big, but uh, those are my thoughts. And let me know if you have any questions.